What's up, guys? Welcome back to Golf Simulator Videos. We're back today with the Trackman IO. That stands for Indoor Optimized. This is all new hardware from Trackman, a ceiling mounted golf launch monitor with a new large camera based with infrared and then also radar. So they're still getting their OERT, that optically enhanced radar tracking. If you haven't seen our first look video, make sure you check that out. We did a full review of this thing, unboxing, did a bunch of shots, chipping and putting. We even sat down with Jacob Monk, the head of Indoor from Trackman, for a short interview. Really cool stuff, so make sure you check that out. But I didn't have time to cover everything in that video. A lot of people reached out asking to see driver. So we're going to hit some driver shots today, and on top of that, we're going to show you additional data that this unit provides, all right, along with some features using extended screens as well. So this is the complete package. If you're just going to do the home package, you're not going to get club data, you're not going to get shot analysis, so just be aware of some of the features I'm showing you today. This is part of the complete package. But first thing we need to do is fire off some drives. We need to get some data, and then I can show you guys what's going on. I'm not going to be swinging out of my shoes today, but we'll try to hit a couple decent drives for you. And then, of course, we're going to do some more on-course play and things like that as we move on. You'll notice the range is a little different today. I actually went in the menu in the upper left, and then under camera, you can change it from a player view to follow ball. So we don't need the 3D video in the upper right like I showed you in the first video, because we're actually going to fly with the ball now in this view. And then when you select driver, it goes from a circle green target to a fairway, which I really like. You set a baseline number, which I set mine at 265. If I'm just going to make an easy swing, I'm hoping to carry it about 265. That's kind of my on-course swing, not trying to swing out of my shoes, and then hoping to keep it inside a 44-yard width. That way you know you're making most fairways out on the course. So let's hit a couple drives. First thing first, good, bad, everything in between, because I want to show you guys this thing is reading. Sure, I'd love to hit a bunch of great shots, but if there's some bad ones too, I think that's really important to show. So let's try to make a few swings here. Well, not bad, other than I think it was a little high on the face the way it sounded. I mean, 160 ball speed, I'll take it. Let's see where we end up there on spin. It just sounded like it was, and you can even see. Yeah, see how the spin was a little low there? I mean, that's not a bad shot. It was the center of the face. And I'll be able to show you guys some additional things here in a second up on my extended screens that I think you're really going to appreciate. So not a terrible shot to start things off, all right? And then what I like is that you can obviously see the club coming in. I can see the ball taking off. And so you can literally see and verify your shot with the video. Very clear video, nice to have that. So, I mean, not a bad shot. I'd take that shot all day outside. A little bit of a knuckleball for me, you know, when I'm getting a little bit high on the face there. I mean, I can get spin. It's something to do with either the Ventus Black, my Sim 2 I'm hitting, but they can be knuckleballs off the high end of the face that are like below 1,000. And outside, you can just watch them kind of fall out of the air. Not ideal. Don't want to do that. But when you hit it on the sweet spot here, you're getting that 1,800 spin, high launch, you know, real great ball. And that's what I try to hit with this. I do like that we're using a Sim 2 because it has a ton of white on the driver. So you're pushing the limits of the camera. You know, some people have reported with certain systems that, you know, the white can confuse a launch monitor. They have to cover it up with black, you know, because it messes with the ball, differentiating that in the driver. But you can see how they crop the ball. So it's pretty cool technology how they're doing that. All right, let's see if we can get another decent shot here. Not in the best shoes, that's for sure. Should have thought about that. Better planning. All right, so there's a nice miss. So big open face. Didn't slice, probably because it's a little off the toe. So what do? You kind of get some gear effect on that. So, and you know, I think that's my common miss. Unless I hit like a duck hook where I close the face, you know, enough either for the gear effect to cause left spin or close it down hard and get a duck hook. That's kind of my miss, is an open face. That's what I see out on the course a lot if I'm not releasing. So good to see that. And then you can verify the spin on the ball. You can watch the ball just kind of have a little bit of a right spin to it. So it's good that you can verify that. Now, if that ball was spinning a little bit to the left, I wouldn't expect that right, you know, side spin. So the difference between this camera being able to measure that spin axis indoor, I think, is great. All right, so big toe miss. We gotta reel things in here. Like I said, I want to show misses, so. That was high on the face again. It's going to be a low spinning ball, so I got to get this corrected. Wonder where that ended up spinning at. I mean, not like it was terrible. These little knuckleballs, you know, they don't stay in the air long enough. Look at that, 683. Wow. If you watch that ball take off from the club, I bet you're going to see just no movement for backspin. Look at it. Almost stays in the exact position. All right. So we really got to reel this in. I'm hitting a little bit high in the face. See if we can adjust that here with a better swing. It's a common for me right there is that that high on the face miss where it knuckles. So let's make a little adjustment here. That was low on the face. 163. I closed the face down a little bit harder. Of course, I'm missing the fairway now. 163 ball speed, though. It's not that bad. 266 carry. And where did that hit? See how much higher my spin is when it's lower on the face? So that was a little towards the toe still. And I kind of overcorrected. A little bit too low on the face. So let's see if we can just kind of neutralize this out. I'm glad we're getting some misses in here. I mean, that was my plan, is to show everything. No sense in coming in here and striping every single drive and not putting it through all its paces. Not like I actually could do that. There we go. Now we're kind of dialing it in. That was a much, much better strike. A little bit of a draw to it. 163 ball speed. Carry was 263. Now that face was more closed and it was just a little bit more towards the toe. And you'll see that you know, is causing a little bit of a draw now on the ball. So my path, you can see the club kind of coming from the inside a little bit. So I like what we're seeing here. Getting the ball speed up there. Just kind of have to tune everything in. Not a bad drive for me, really. I'll take that. Tried to not release as hard that time. Got a little bit of a push out of it. And you'll notice, finally getting some really good carry. 281. So, you know, without a warm-up and just coming in here and hitting some drives, I mean, I pretty much hit four out of, what was it, 6 fairways there. And that was my ideal drive. So I finally hit it center of the face, as you can see. I got that 1800 spin. You know, 18 to 2000 is where I find most of my ideal drives. So this was perfect. I mean, we saw misses. We saw an ideal drive. I mean, I'll be honest, 164 to 5 ball speed for me is really all I'm reaching out on the course. I can swing out of my shoes. I've got all the way up to like 169, you know, shy of 170. It's kind of funny. Never hit it before, but I mean, that's really pretty much ideal for me. I don't mind the ball having that little fade to it because it's, you know, much more controllable. Now, I want to show you some really cool stuff. So we're going to go over here, and I'm actually going to grab my phone. So bear with me for 1 second as I pull up my camera. All right, and hit record. Perfect. All right, so here we are on my computer monitor. Same thing you guys are seeing on the recorded screen. But I actually have extended screen set up. So I'm actually getting a ton of data over here on my third monitor. A lot of data that I didn't get to show you guys in the first video. So you're actually getting dynamic loft out of this unit. You're actually getting face angle. All right, so, you know, if I would have released that club maybe another degree, probably would have turned into more of a straight ball, maybe a baby draw. You know, maybe would have just started a little bit more to the left. But notice I got that ball just a little bit low on the face. Still didn't spin it too much for being that low on the face, so not necessarily a bad thing. That might be more of my sweet spot versus the higher ball is causing these knuckles that are just a little bit too much. So I love having that verification. And then of course I can just go right here to this video on the screen and I can just see where it's impacting. All right. Now, what if I wanted that to be larger? So let me get this to focus in for 1 second because I'm just going to use my phone. I'm going to go to this menu in the upper left, and I'm going to go to extended screens in the upper right, and I'm going to switch this to maximized because you can split screens with different data. I have impact and impact location right now. I'm going to go to maximized, and I'm going to go to club delivery, and I'm going to hit save. Now what you're going to notice is that you have that club video up on your extended monitor, which in my case is actually a huge 55-inch, I think it's 50 or 55-inch TV. So, I mean, I can get a really clear image of exactly what is going on with that ball. I can see the club delivery. Now, it's going to be a little hard for me to probably skip through this video, but if I wanted to, I could use my mouse and go up here, and I could actually, watch that in slow motion. I could play it, or I could just skip along. I kind of like skipping along. You can see the ball take off that way. But how cool is that? So let me take this back down really quick. Perfect. I'm just going to go back. And I do want to show you guys one more thing now that we're on this screen. So the data tiles over to the left, you can edit those and you can add club data. So if I click edit, I can actually now decide that I really don't need the curve. I can see the curve, I can see where it's going, so I'm going to tap to remove that. And I'm working on my face angle. All right, I can now add face angle if I want to. If I wanted impact height, I could do that. If I was really worried about getting closer to the toe or the heel, maybe I just do offset or not height. But you can adjust all of these different data points, from these tiles that you're seeing over on the left. The other thing I want to point out, so I had a pretty big miss on that first shot. So I could pull this shot back up. That video changes to that shot. You can see that was a high toe ball. I had my low spin and everything else, so I could compare the delivery of that with my ideal shot, which I love. I can just look at that video really quick and just go back and forth. Now, if I wanted to see what my average total was and I wanted to throw out the worst shot, well, I can just hit delete. And then, of course, that's now deleted. So I really hope that this was a nice overview for you guys. One, you got to see driver in action. I mean, I think I hit enough shots there to kind of justify that this thing is, picking up driver really well, especially considering I'm hitting a Sim 2. I am going to actually work with my coach directly off of the data that I'm seeing here. Why am I hitting it, high toe shots that end up being these super low, knuckleballs versus, I'm getting this delivery every once in a while that's just ideal for me. So it's just, perfect opportunity to where you can take data and apply it directly towards your game, maybe with a coach, PGA professional. That's what I always try to do. But I hope this was exactly what everyone was looking for. Full driver review, additional data, and also showing the extended screens for Trackman IO. I want you guys to comment below, give me your thoughts, let me know what else you want to see. I'd be happy to cover that. We obviously have a lot coming to cover with this unit, but I'll do my best to answer all the questions and show what we can here in the channel. As always, I appreciate you guys watching. Stay tuned. There'll be a lot more coming soon.